Well, hi, this is Sue, the Soggy Stamper. It's 3 o'clock on a rainy, snowy, messy day here in northwest Washington. We had snow and cold weather earlier this week, and now it's turned to rain, and what a sloppy, slippery mess it is. But every day, any day, is stamping time, rain or shine, and so let's do some stamping. I'm excited to show you some more products from the new mini catalog that comes out the 5th of January. Let me show you the cover. This is the mini catalog. And it runs from January through April. They're changing things around a little bit as far as the mini catalogs go, and also as far as celebration goes. This year, celebration is January 5th through February 28th. It's 2 months, and it's the only celebration in the year. There'll be some other specials and stuff like that, but this is going to be the only time. I think last year, or the last 2 years with the 2 celebrations, the second one didn't really do quite as well as what they had anticipated, so I think they're going back to just having one. So this is the 2 catalogs we're working from today. I can't show you the insides, but I can show you some of the product that's in there. So last week I showed you can't remember exactly what I showed you, but this time I showed you designer series papers. This time I am going to show you the Country Bouquet bundle, which consists of this stamp set, which I chose photopolymer. It comes also, I believe, in clean red rubber, and it comes with this and a corresponding punch. And one of the things about the punch that is really great is that it will punch out not only these things that you stamp, but it will punch out some of the designer series paper that is in the suite. So this is one side of this piece, and the back side is like that. Then there's this gorgeous one, and this is the one that will punch out. Because you can slide the punch. Now let me turn it over so you can see. I slide it in like that, and can you see it just fits that whole pattern just beautifully. And that's one of the things I love about Stampin' Up! In their designer series paper, is that they have at least one pattern that can be cut out either with the dies or with the corresponding punch. The reverse side of this is some pink and sweet sorbet stripes. And then we have some flowers. And little tiny hearts in an argyle pattern. Very pretty. And I love this card with the bicycles in all the pastel colors. I have a friend who's quite a bicyclist. And as a matter of fact, for Christmas, she sent a Christmas card that had a bicycle on it. She would love this. And then it has diagonal stripes on the back side. This side has some more of the, let's see here, where's my little card? I like to take and cut a 3-inch strip down one side of each of the designer series papers, and then have a 3-inch square that I cut diagonally. Then I can see both sides of each sheet of paper instead of having to flip through them. The other thing I do on this piece of cardstock, the backing that comes in the package, is the writing is so small that unless I have very bright lights, In my aging eyes, I just can't read it. So I rewrite it bigger. So the colors are Sweet Sorbet, Petal Pink, Mossy Meadow, Mint Macaron, Balmy Blue, and then the basic white. So this one has the Petal Pink. Well, there's got to be another color in there. Balmy Blue, Mint Macaron, Mossy Meadow, Petal Pink, and Sweet Sorbet. Well, that ass is not, there certainly is like a peachy color in there. So I think they forgot to put in one of the colors. So there's one more sheet that's not here. And here it is, with some more dainty hearts that kind of match this stamp set. What's cool about this stamp set is that you can stamp this in green, and then you can stamp this in your flower colors. And the reverse side of that is again this peach color. Okay, so one of the other things I got was on my original order was this Silly Goose stamp set. And I think I used it last week for something. But at any rate, I love this for several reasons. Number one, it says, a silly goose told me it's your birthday, and this silly goose forgot. And that's me. Then I love sending gaggles of good wishes. I also love Goosebumps and sending a great big honkin' thanks. So anyway, I'm going to get a lot of use out of this set, and today I'm going to use it to make this card. Now, with Goosebumps, I had to say, you give me goosebumps. But that isn't in the stamp set, so I computer generated the you give me, and printed it out. And then I stamped the Goosebumps below that to complete the idea. So to make this card, I'm going to start out with Sweet Sorbet, 11 by 4 1/4, scored at 5 1/2, or you could make it 11. Or you could make 8 1/2 by 5 1/2 scored at 4 1/4. And so I had intended to make it go up and down like this because they stand nicely. However, the orientation of my stamp makes it go on the landscape. So that's what we'll go with. And I chose this design of the designer series paper because of the little white hearts. And then there's this back side here. And I wanted the red to show through the holes in my cardstock. So I'm going to put this down, this layer, and it is 5 1/4 by 4. And I discovered, after I did my design, that not much of the way in the way of the hearts shows up. Okay, then I used, got to get the die set. So I used this framed florets dies. They are going to be so useful. And this is the one with the hearts. But it does not cut out the center. So I had intended to have the ducks in behind the hearts, but I punted and I used the die this way, on a piece of, this is 3 3/4 by 5" basic white cardstock. And I ran through the Stamp and Emboss, cut and emboss, and I ended up with the hearts like this. And I would normally put this down, but I want to make sure that I stamp well. So I'm using the 2 geese that are doing the bumping, and the color is go. Maybe I'll put it away. This gray granite, because I want to have a little bit softer edge to the ducks, the geese. So I'm just going to stamp them in there like that. That's the reason why I didn't glue it down, because I didn't get a good even stamp. So I can turn it over. Oh, come on. And try it again. There, that's better. And I love coloring with Stampin' Blends because you can still see the lines with the markers. I find that the shading and stuff like that doesn't show up too much as well. And I'm just going to add a little bit of gray granite, light gray granite, for a little bit of shading to give a little bit of dimension to it. Maybe put a little bit on the back of the neck. People are much more talented than I at doing this coloring. I just like to get the color on. So you guys all ready for your Christmas? Got your packages all wrapped and under the tree. Went down to the post office this afternoon because I haven't yet mailed my Christmas cards. Oh, for shame. I've been so busy making them, I haven't had time to actually get them addressed and mailed. And then a little bit of pumpkin pie. Light pumpkin pie for their beaks. Oops. And their feet. I want to give a shout out to one of my stamping buddies in Texas. my convention roomie, who's not feeling very good right now, is in a hospital. I hope that she gets to feeling better fast. Okay, so that's about all the coloring I'm going to do for those geese. But I want to put a little bit of grass underneath to ground them. This is Old Olive. Oh, that's a funky tip. Might have to get a new one. There. Just enough, just a hint of color. And now I think I'm ready to put it on the card front. And since I'll probably be mailing it, and I like to keep things flat for mailing, I'm just going to use Stampin' Seal. You could use Stampin' Dimensionals for it. Okay, so see, you can see some of this hearts, but I kind of wasted the designer paper. I should have just put it onto the card base. But that's living and learning. That's part of creating, I guess. So here's the greeting. You give me goosebumps. And I want to show you a technique I have for cutting out labels. I went through all my dies to find one that would fit right, and was not very successful in finding one, except for this die, which is the hollyberry dies from the fall mini catalog, but it's really quite large for that breeding. It would fit okay there, but it's quite a bit bigger than what I needed. So what I'm going to do is cut it down. I'm going to bring out the wonderful mini. If you sign up to be a demonstrator during celebration, you have the opportunity to get a boho blue mini. And if you haven't heard of boho blue yet, that's because it's one of the new next year's in the new annual catalog. It's going to be one of the in colors, boho blue. So you can get this for, instead of $99, you pay $129, and you get $175 worth of product plus the boho blue mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss. I'm going to move it out of the way for a minute here because I want to show you. Oh, get that out of the way. So I'm going to put it, let's show you, like that, and use a piece of washi tape to hold it in place so it doesn't slide. And then we'll run it through. Okay, so you go, okay, well, but we got a blunt end here. And you're going, what the heck are we going to do with that? I mean, I could leave that and just cut it off, but I want the shape of the die. So, I'm going to move it down this way, and you can, as you move the die around, you can feel it slide into the grooves. I'll anchor it again. Now this end of the die will cut off this part. And I do this often when the die is longer than the space I have or the greeting I have. It gives you multiple use out of a single die. And like that, you have a really cute little label for your greeting. So it's easy, easy, easy. Can be done with the numerous ones of the dies. Okay, so if I were to put this white one here, it would show up kind of. And you can see there's a nice little edge around there. But I'm going to put a bit of Sweet Sorbet ink around the edges to make the die show up a little better. I'm going to use a sponge dauber and just kind of brush it around the edges. You can do a lot or you can do a little bit, however you like it. But it's a nice way to get some color around the edge. And now it will stand out like that. And I will use some small Stampin' Dimensionals for this one. Like that. Now on the sample card, I had a boo-boo up there. Somehow got a little bit of Sweet Sorbet ink on it. So I needed to cover it up. And it adds a little bit of extra interest to your card anyway if you add a ribbon or some sequins. In this case I'm going to add some ribbon, but I don't have, well, the Sweet Sorbet ribbon that comes in the in-color bundle is kind of much more pinkish. This is the Sweet Sorbet, and that just didn't go. Just did not look right for me. And this is my go-to. It's crinkled seam binding ribbon, and I'm going to make it Sweet Sorbet by using the Sweet Sorbet ink, alcohol ink, and you just color it. It works really nicely. Used to be that if you drug this across your stamp pad, it would color it also. Or you could take a re-inker and put a few drops into water and put your ribbon in there, and that would color it. But that you had to wait for it to dry, and it was really kind of a mess. Whereas this is really fast. And it soaks through so both sides are colored. I think this will be enough. So I'll let that dry for a minute. And I'm going to tie a bow. This is a cheater. Stampin' Up! Does not sell this, but I finally just broke down and I bought one. It's called the 10-Second Bow Maker, and it is made by husband of a demonstrator that has iteachstamping.com. And you can even put pins in here and make it even longer so you can make any size bow you want. You can make it that big. If you had wide ribbon, you can make it that big. It really works slick. So let's see if this is dry enough. Yep, that's good. So what you do is take a length of ribbon, you tie it around like that. Put this underneath.
Come on. Come on.
And just tie a knot. You can adjust it so the bows are even. And there you have it. Isn't that slick? Okay, now I'm looking for, here, there they are. So I'm just going to put the bow there using one of these mini glue dots that come with the paper pumpkin kits. They always give you so much, you have plenty extra, and I love them for putting on ribbons because they're just the right size. Or for putting on sequins too. Ooh, pulled that right off. There. Now trim the ends. And there we have our finished card. On the inside, you could put a piece of white cardstock inside so that the greeting, your handwriting and stuff works better. And on the back, stamp your logo or your name, write your name, because you are the artist. Anyway, I love this. You give me goosebumps, and this would make a perfect Valentine's card for a man, or for your husband, or just to surprise your husband in the day. So I thank you for watching. This is Sue, the Soggy Stamper. Rain or shine, it's stamping time. My blog is Sue, my email, sue@soggystamper.com. So if you have any questions, you can email me and ask. My blog is www.soggystamper.com, and I will have this video up on my blog along with the dimensions and the supplies used this afternoon. And if you need any of the supplies or need a catalog want a catalog for the new catalogs, send me an email with your name, your snail mail address, and your telephone. And you might wonder why the telephone. I guarantee I won't bug you with phone calls, but I would like to be able to call and confirm that you received the catalog, and periodically to see if there's any way I can help you. And this video will also be on my YouTube channel, The Soggy Stamper. So this is the Friday. This is the Christmas Eve of Christmas Eve. I wish you all a very merry Christmas, and we'll see you again next Friday afternoon at 3 o'clock. Have a wonderful weekend and Merry Christmas. Bye-bye.